Welcome back to Squawk Box this morning. There is a new breed of companies centered around stablecoins, which are cryptocurrencies whose value is tied to an outside asset like the dollar. And recently, Circle, which is a leader in the space, raised $440 million from investors. It's the largest ever VC round for funding for a crypto business. Joining us right now to talk crypto and stablecoins is Jeremy Allaire, CEO of Circle, which is the creator of the second largest stablecoin in USDC. Good morning to you, Jeremy. We've watched the rise of Bitcoin and Ether and Dogecoin. I want to get to all of that. But stable coins, in terms of just the value proposition and what we've seen even over the last 2 months in terms of the rise, has been quite dramatic. What's happening?
I mean, look, what we see, obviously, is what we saw when we started working on this, which is the internet needs native forms of digital money and native forms of digital currency. And there's obviously pure cryptocurrencies like a Bitcoin, but so much of the world transacts in a every way, every day unit of account like the dollar. And so what stablecoins represent and dollar digital currencies like USDC represent is how do you take the price stability of the dollar, the simplicity in terms of its unit of account, and give it the attributes of cryptocurrency, which is global reach, nearly instant settlement, extraordinarily cheap, very secure transactions. And that's really appealing. It's sort of a true digitization of money and so on.
Jeremy, though, the Wall Street Journal, and I'm sure you read this story and were unhappy when you read it, headline, Bitcoin's reliance on stablecoins harks back to the Wild West of finance, goes on to say that stablecoins create a major vulnerability for crypto and the system. I'm assuming you don't agree with that.
I certainly don't. I mean, I think, first, just for orientation, when we look at things like USDC and we look at this technology, this is fundamentally a payment system innovation. This is, taking the existing two-tier banking system that we have, taking the regulatory regime we have around electronic money in the United States and very much around the world, and marrying that with the power of public internet protocols, public blockchains, and so on. And so it's a payment system innovation, and I think critically, USDC is unique because it does operate under a regulatory standard, and that's a high standard that's been set in the United States for some time.
Jeremy, let's talk crypto more broadly because we've got a couple things going on here. One, Dogecoin being sort of greenlit, if you will, into Coinbase for at least professional traders right now. You have had the price of Bitcoin come down quite dramatically. Ether as well, though now people think that maybe Ether is going to outpace Bitcoin. Let's talk Bitcoin first. What do you make of what's happened and where it stands right now?
I mean, I think at a very high level, obviously, these kind of crypto assets have grown very significantly. Everyone knows, how significantly they've grown. I think there's wide acceptance that these are here to stay. And these sort of major assets like Bitcoin and Ethereum and so on had a lot of participation and investment into them. And so anytime there's, that kind of growth in that kind of speed, and then there's negative news, you obviously see pullbacks in that.
But in terms of the value, when you look at the value of Bitcoin today in the 30s, the 30,000s now, do you say to yourself, this is a cheap buy because you're a long-term believer this is going to be worth $500,000, $1 million a coin, as some of the real bulls, the diamond hands would say? Or do you say, you know what, actually $30,000 makes sense to me? Or maybe it doesn't make sense to me at all and I think it's actually worth $5,000.
Yeah, so I think each one of these crypto assets has its own valuation thesis, let's just say, but I'm extraordinarily long on things like Bitcoin and Ether. I think these are going to become more and more important as digital commodities in the world. I think the multi-$100,000 concepts are quite accurate, very likely. And I do think, Ether and what is happening with Ethereum is phenomenal and is very distinct from Bitcoin as well, and has an enormous amount of potential for many, many different types of applications that are going to get built on top of it.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.